It was June 19, 1865, a blazing Texas summer. The Civil War was over, but in Galveston, most enslaved people still had no idea they were free. That day, Union General Gordon Granger arrived with 2,000 federal troops and issued General Order No. 3, declaring that all enslaved people in Texas were free. Over 250,000 men, women, and children finally heard the words they had waited a lifetime to hear. You are free. That day would become known as Juneteenth, a blend of June and 19th, and it would grow into the longest-running Black freedom celebration in American history. Early Juneteenth gatherings were more than just parties. They were acts of resistance. In a society trying to erase Black joy and dignity, these celebrations were sacred. People wore their finest clothes, often garments their ancestors had been forbidden to wear. They prayed, sang spirituals, read the Emancipation Proclamation aloud, and honored their elders who had endured the unthinkable. But as segregation deepened and Jim Crow laws spread, public spaces were often closed to Black communities. So they built their own emancipation parks, like the one in Houston, Texas, purchased in 1872 by former slaves for the sole purpose of holding Juneteenth celebrations. By the early 20th century, however, Juneteenth began to decline. Schools often didn't teach about it. The Great Migration pulled Black families north, and the holiday's roots started to fade. Then came 1968. The Civil Rights Movement was entering a new chapter. The Poor People's Campaign, led by Coretta Scott King and Ralph Abernathy, brought thousands to the National Mall. There, in the heart of the nation's capital, Juneteenth was revived, a powerful reminder that the struggle for freedom never truly ends. Here's something many don't know. After that revival, Juneteenth quietly crept into every corner of America. It found its way into state legislatures, into textbooks, into city parades, and finally, in 2021, it was declared a federal holiday, signed into law by President Joe Biden. But Juneteenth is more than fireworks and festivals. It's a living memory, a call to examine the unfinished work of justice, equality, and truth in America. Did you know? In some cities, people celebrated by releasing butterflies, symbolizing transformation and freedom. Red foods like red velvet cake, strawberries, and hibiscus tea are often served on Juneteenth, red symbolizing the bloodshed of the enslaved and the resilience of their descendants. The Juneteenth flag has a bursting star in the center, representing Texas, the last state to hear the news, and the freedom of Black Americans in all 50 states. Today, Juneteenth is a symbol of liberation, remembrance, and cultural pride. It reminds us that freedom, though delayed, cannot be denied, and that history is not just something we read, but something we live, carry, and pass on.